In today's video, I am back here at my cabin in the woods in the Pacific Northwest, and I am going to be catching up on chores. I gotta split and stack some firewood. I need to clean out my fridge, the inside and the exhaust of the fridge. Okay, well, that's one way to do it. I need to clean the roof. I need to clean the inside of the cabin a little bit, blow off the decks, walkways, and maybe possibly some other things that I can't think of right now, but that's what comes to the forefront of my mind when it comes to the ongoing list of chores that just keep on stacking up. But that's part of the ownership process of owning a house or a cabin or anything like this. You gotta maintain it or else it's just gonna go to crap. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna catch up on my chores. And the first thing I'm gonna do is go outside and start splitting and stacking that wood that I got last week off the side of the road.
Random Forest Service guy, that's my name.
Murray, okay. All right, Murray.
Have a good one.
See you, man. Today is a little bit cooler weather, and the next few upcoming days are gonna be really hot, so I wanna split that before those really high temperatures come. So neighbor Joe and Carol are here, by the way. They're pressure washing their roof, so I may be borrowing their harness or some of their equipment when I sweep off my roof. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to alternate using my right hand and then my left hand to split and then my right hand. That way I can wear my muscles evenly. Oh yeah. All right, people. It's chainsaw time. Chain oil's good. Let's go. There's 2 batteries. Hey Joe,
I need a little help with something.
okay. I walked over and helped Joe on his roof. He is not a happy camper right now. I would not be either, because what he's doing is very tiring, going up and down that ladder, readjusting the hose and pressure washing, trying to keep stable on a slippery roof, dealing with the harness and the pressure washer hose at the same time. It's, yeah, not an enjoyable experience. So I'm not looking forward to the day when I pressure wash mine. Don't know when that's going to happen, but for right now I'm just going to stick to sweeping. Come on. There's like 2 cuts left. Second set of batteries ran out. I'm going to turn that off. In the back of the fridge, turn this gas line to the off position. Now that I have the fridge turned off, I can take the contents inside and put them in this bag. All right. Now, during the time that I go out to chop the firewood, I will leave the doors of the fridge and freezer here open, and all this ice buildup here in the back of the freezer and then right here in the fridge, that should thaw out just enough where I can take that whole chunk or block of ice out and then clean everything. Because this really needs to be clean. This is gross and nasty. I hate these dark black stains that are on there. So I'll get it clean and then I'll work on the exhaust. All right, I have finished the splitting of the firewood, and now I'm back inside, and I can take this chunk out. Actually, let's start with the shelf. Oh. Okay, well, that's one way to do it. It's all gonna get wiped down anyways. Before coming here, I was supposed to shop for the appropriate cleaner to clean the doors, but I did not. So hopefully I have something in here that will work. Unfortunately, the block of ice that was in the freezer completely thawed out, so it's just a pool of water here now. All right, turns out I have bleach under the sink, so let's give that a shot. It stinks, but it's working. All right, that worked pretty good. Now I just gotta do all these other areas around here. All right, boom. I'm no professional appliance cleaner, but I think that's good. And I feel a whole lot better about myself as a human being. I do a decent job on a regular basis to wipe down these shelves and stuff in here. But over time, that black nastiness that developed on these seals and seams here, that was really nasty. And I know that when people came up to visit, they probably saw that and they were like, that's kind of gross, but I'm not gonna say anything about it because I don't want to make Diego feel bad. So now I don't have to worry about such things. I feel good, other people can feel good, it's all good. So it's getting late and I don't have enough time to do the exhaust clean out tonight, so I'm gonna turn the fridge back on. First, I need to go back there. And I need to turn the gas valve back on. Now I turn the gas on here. Push when lighting. Push. And that little needle is going to go to the on position. And I let go. Don't know if you can hear that, but the flame is burning. Yep, there it is. Flame in there. Propane fridges are pretty awesome, people. Pretty amazing technology that you can have a flame make things cold. Now let's do this. I'll stick that in there. Boom. Boom. Once that water is frozen, I will add the contents back to the fridge. So it's the next morning now, and I'm realizing that I didn't get footage of that cup of water freezing, but it froze, and the freezer is working because I put this stuff back in and it's frozen. So clean fridge, clean freezer, it's working. And now I'm gonna go outside and start the generator. So a lot of you might be curious why I'm not using my generator box. A lot of you know that I built that inside the garage so that I wouldn't have to run the generator outside and I could have quiet power. That was the whole idea. But I don't use it all the time. Like in circumstances like this where it's nice, dry outside, I'm not worried about the noise that it's producing. This thing is pretty quiet in general, but I like to use it when I'm working inside the garage or when it's pouring down rain outside and I don't have some sort of a cover to keep it dry, or at night when I want quiet power. There's many different scenarios where I would use the generator box, and right now is not one of them because it's dry, working outside, don't care about the noise, so that's why I'm doing this. So this powers the entire cabin and the garage. This is obviously the battery charger for the Makita batteries. Now that I'm plugged in to everything here, I'm also charging this bank of batteries at the same time. And inside the cabin, I am charging my GoPro batteries. That is, if I had any dead GoPro batteries, I would be charging them. But I charged all those last night. But over here, I am charging my laptop, which is plugged in there. So this is the typical daily procedure when I'm up here for a long time. I wake up in the morning, I start the generator, I plug all those things in, and I charge my batteries. And now, I think I will work on the roof. So that gas chainsaw that I was using last week was my grandpa's. This was also my grandpa and grandma's, but grandma's getting up there in age and she's still going strong. She's super healthy, but not quite strong enough to wield this thing around. So she gifted this to me. So I think I'll be okay without Joe's harness. I just gotta take it careful. These boots that I have on they got really good soles on the bottom of them, so they're supposed to be non-slip, and they're working pretty good. Yeah, this roof definitely needs pressure washing. It's really nasty, but it's a lot better having just blown it off like this. Sketchy. It was dangerous, but did I die? No. Yeah, this is definitely the ugly side of the cabin here. Well, it's not super ugly, but it just needs a lot of work. This deck is pretty rotten and old, and it's sagging, and as you all know, decks take a lot of work. So that's future project way down the line.
It's not too heavy. It's pretty light. Yeah. She lived in Sacramento at the time, so I don't know which hand. Oh, this is fun. Also, yeah, I think it has potential.
Check it out, everybody. I just scored big time. Look at all these goodies I got from the neighbors. Joe and Carol have had this redwood tabletop, these bar stools, this stump for a long time, and I think I'm going to use it in the future for my bathroom remodel. I think it would be really cool to cut this down to size and use it for a countertop in there. Maybe have a bowl style sink in there, and then the bar stools. I was actually admiring them yesterday when I was hanging out with them, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to try and make those. I should like take a picture of them and try and replicate that. Maybe I could make a bar stool build, because they're really cool design. It's just 2x4s, at least it looks like just 2x4s, and they're sanded down, and they got these things on there to cover the screw holes, and they spin. They got leather tops. They're really nice. So I was like, oh, I'd like to create something like that someday. And then Joe is like, hey, you want this countertop? Hey, you want these bar stools? We're trying to get rid of them. I'm like, heck yeah, man. Sweet. Future video, future project.
Okay. This will be my last thing today.
Okay.
I need you to take a pulled pork sandwich off my hands.
Oh.
So
That I can
it's coming
definitely
up.
do. Okay, thank you. As promised, pulled pork sandwich. Joe and Carol are awesome neighbors. We trade stuff all the time. I help them with something, they help me with something. Back and forth we go. But many of you who watch this channel already know that. There it goes.
Okay.
And if you don't know that yet, get with the program, people. All right, finished my lunch. Got a little snack, and the laptop is charged. We got the green light on the GoPro battery that I put on here, so that's charged. The second set of batteries out here are still being charged, and we've raised about 5% on the battery bank here. Last night when I was doing some video editing and using the internet, I used about 15% of the battery, so. Now the next chore is to figure out a way to store that big pile of firewood that I split right there somewhere where I can keep it dry. So I think I'm gonna have to build something. I'm keeping it simple. I was gonna build something a lot more complex, but I'm gonna give this a shot first. I'll see if 3 rows is enough.
I'm not knocking it at all. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Like, it's an amazing genre. Like, when it first started, it was B-boys and dancing. All the OG rappers were very wise. Like, you know, it's kind of like when they tell you, like, after the MLK thing, like, everything got better. Hip-hop was the same way. Like, the early rappers were super smart, super wise, super on point, talking about stories, etc. But it wasn't super degenerate. You listen to some of the OGs of hip-hop, they say that the record labels, they only wanted to sign degen rappers who talked about crime. Like, they didn't want all the cool guys. And since then, it's like it's gotten, you know, there's good and bad of all genres, etc. He wasn't like, I'm gonna do this crazy evil thing to some of my neighbor. Like, that's like demon music. Like, a lot of the rap, it's not even like I ride for my boys, I kill for my boys. It's literally like a demon like wrote the lyrics. They're like, I'm gonna kill you for no reason and steal your shoes and your mom. It's like, what the hell is wrong with these people? I'm not really into new stuff that much, but it's like, or it's like, you know, like nobody wants to address that. If people really wanted to like uplift their people, like they gotta point it out and be like, listen, we gotta get in shape. I don't know, you know, we would make it happen.
All right, everybody. Well, as you can see here, I got my firewood split and stacked before the hot temperatures came, so that was a great success. However, I did not achieve success when it comes to cleaning the exhaust of the fridge. That is going to have to wait for another day. I think the exhaust affects the amount of frost buildup. I'm not sure. I know very little about propane fridges. It has a brush on the back of it, and you're supposed to like go up and scrub it and clean off. It has like buildup in the exhaust pipe, and so eventually it gets plugged, and that's not good. So I really need to do that. And while I was editing the video, watching this, I added to my list of chores that still need to be done here at the cabin. I need to recaulk and paint the skirting out there on the side of the cabin. It's really, really bad. It looks all moldy and nasty and just disgusting. There was a time when it was perfectly clean, and that's right after I built it, and I should have painted it that day or like the days following, but I didn't get to it. And now it just looks terrible. So another thing I need to do is pressure wash the roof. It's really bad. It needs to be pressure washed to extend the life of my standing seam metal roof. I need to clean all the windows on the cabin. They're really dirty. I need to go around and vacuum all of the cobwebs that are in high places and corners, and there's just cobwebs all over this place, so I need to do that. Ah, yes, my wood splitting technique. So everybody tells me that I really need to get a log splitter because I'm gonna break my back using a splitting maul, and if you're gonna do a splitting maul, you need to get this type of maul because it's so much better. I've heard it all, and there's some truth to that, but you know what? Neighbor Al has been splitting his own firewood all these years, and he definitely paces himself much better than I do. What I did was kind of crazy in one day, and I go pretty hard when it comes to splitting my firewood, so I could pace myself. That's one change that I could make for sure. But like I said, Al's been doing it. He's 83 years old. He's still going. He's still really strong, really healthy. Oh, that's working. Nice. Oh,
It's hard to do without a winch.
Yeah. And I like to take advice from people who have been there, done that have been successful in things. I'm not going to take advice about health and fitness from a morbidly obese person. I'm not going to take financial advice from somebody who's filing for bankruptcy. It just, so I'm going to use the battery power, which I'm connected to right now, and that is going to power the Starlink all night long. I'm just going to leave the computer on and the Starlink on, and it's going to upload while I sleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, the video will be posted to YouTube, or it'll be scheduled to post to YouTube the next day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know how to end it, so this was kind of a classic one. It's been a while since I've been up here at the cabin doing stuff like this, so kind of felt good to be back in the groove of things up here. Don't know what's coming next because my life is crazy, but we'll see. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks. Bye.